What's up, comic fans? It's Detroit Madman, and I am here with my Wednesday pickups for the week of 5/20. And I hit the 50-cent box at the comic shop. They had a bunch of new stuff they threw in there, and then I also had one package that came in from eBay today from a seller over the weekend, which I was kind of excited about because there was a few cool things in there that I wanted. So, first up, there was a bunch of new Secret Wars books out today. The battle books and some of, I think the Deadpool was out. But this is the only one I picked up. It's the Secret Wars Spider-Verse #1. Just because I'm a huge Spidey fan, obviously. And I don't think this isn't any kind of variant cover. I didn't see any variant covers there, so I don't know which ones exist for this title. They did have variant covers for all the other titles that came out, but I didn't see any for this one. And I thought this one started out pretty cool. It has some great panels of Spider-Gwen in it. And I thought it was alright to start with, and I only got about halfway through. And I don't know all the Spider-Man characters right now, so I'm going to have to do my homework a little. But the art looks okay. I'm kind of falling off, I think, on the Secret Wars. After issue 2, I found myself a little disinterested by the middle of issue 2, and I might just pick up some variant covers going forward that I like. Don't know if I'm going to start following the whole story. My next pickup was Witches, issue 6. And I have not read this story yet at all. The artwork in this looks amazing. And I was able to pick up the full series. I picked up issue 1, which is a second printing. Issue 2, issue 3, issue 4, and issue 5. So I'm all ready to go on Witches. Like I said, it comes highly recommended by many people, and just a quick leaf through this book has me really excited to start it. Now, I have finished a little bit of reading over the last couple of nights. I read the first 3 issues of Chrononauts, and I loved it. And then I last night read, what did I read last night? The first issue of Harrow County, I think that's the name of it. And then the Hitman 57, or Hit 57 series, which it started out pretty cool as well. So I'm catching up on some reading from the newer releases. And all the stories I've started so far I've liked a lot. Let's see, Archie vs. Predator, issue 2. And I guess it's a 4-part series. And I haven't read the first one yet. But again, this looks real fun. It's actually, from the reviews I got on a couple podcasts, people said that they liked it. So another issue I picked up today was the Tith #2. And again, I heard good things about this series, and so I went ahead and picked up issue 1. And these are the covers. They seem to have, like this stained glass cover theme going on. But there is other variants of this issue. I think I'm going to stick with this one. I think it looks pretty cool. And the artwork in here looks great. And the story is kind of a modern day Robin Hood, I heard. Where I think they're robbing churches. These churches that embezzle money or whatever. And they're distributing the money out. A hacker cell is doing it or something. So that one looks kind of that. It's got that, I don't know, Matrixy urban news story, hacker type story, I guess, is pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. But those are all the new books I picked up. Now I did hit, my comic shop had a huge influx in their 50-cent box this week that I noticed. So I jumped in there and I saw, I've never seen this before, and it's comics that are based on the True Blood series. And I thought they looked cool. So I picked up one of each of the issues they had there. They had multiple copies of these. So I picked up that's number 3. That's number 3 of Tainted Love. That's issue 5 of French Quarter. Issue 4. Issue 2 of French Quarter. Issue 3 of French Quarter. That's number 10 of the original title, I believe. Number 6. Number 4. Looks to be done well. Look at that cover. Number 6. Pretty wild. Number 3. Pretty wild. And this was my favorite cover out of all of them. It's issue 4 of Tainted Love. So got those for 50 cents each. And then I saw this was an Image number 1. I think it's from like 93 or something. And I think it's a compilation book. But the artwork in it looks so cool. You know, it's got like Jim Lee art and things like that. So went ahead and picked this up. And then I never saw this before, but the cover kind of caught my eye. It's called New Men, I think. And it's an Image comic number 1. I don't know the year on this. This is from 94. And it's got that, I love this, like in my last couple videos, I really love this type of comic that has the mid-90s paper and the high color printing technique. So I don't know anything about that, but it looked interesting. And then this was in the 50-cent box. It's a Valiant issue number 1 called Unity. And the cover is kind of okay. It's really 90s. But I actually found the artwork to be cool in this book. When I leafed through it. It had, I thought, some really cool looking panels. I don't know anything about the story or who this guy is, but I think I'll give it a read, and that would look pretty cool. And then there was an issue of Sledgehammer number 1, which was a TV show when I was a lot younger, and this came out in the early 80s. This is like 88 actually, but it actually has some pretty cool art in it. Kind of has a psycho scene in the beginning that starts off, and then Sledgehammer gets involved, and has Friday the 13th. I think he goes after all these horror characters or something. So I found this to be interesting, and I picked up that Welcome Back Kotter number 1. So when I see these for 50 cents, I think I'll pick them up just on just for the novelty of it. These old TV show comics. And then the next 10 comics or so are all these timely reissued reprints, I guess, that they did about 4 or 5 years ago. And I actually jumped back into comics for a minute when these came out. And I have some of these, but I think I have different ones for most of them. So I picked these up for 50 cents. I think the cover on them was like $4 or something. And it's pretty cool. A lot of them have reprint stories, updated, easier to read, reprinted stories. Coincidentally, just last night I was reading the Human Torch reprint story on the old comic print that I have here in this fantasy masterpiece. And it's so much reader. I was killing my eyes trying to read the type in this old comic compared to how easy it is to read the type in the reissued reprints. And they did change some of the artwork and the coloring in some of the panels, I noticed. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. It's a lot easier to read and see the detail, especially in panels where the Human Torch is standing at a distance. You can barely even see him in that comic here, or see what's going on. Real hard to read the type, but they did it really well on the. I think this is a computer. I think they put this on the computer and remaster it. I'm not a big fan of this. I like the old feel of the paper and everything, but it is a lot easier to read the story on that. So that's okay. So I picked up that, and I have this one already, but I picked it up because it was 50 cents, and I think I'll give my brother some of these. I think he'll like him. Picked up the Marvel Mystery. This is really cool. So I have that already, so I'll give that to him. I did not have the Miss America, so I picked up the Miss America. It's got a bunch of old stories in it, and some updated ones too that they re-imaged. So I got 2 copies of that. I didn't have that one, and I didn't have this one. So I picked up a couple copies of this one. And then I had this one already, so I got a copy of that for him. And then I did not have this one. And this one has some really cool artwork in it. They only had 1 copy of it in there. That's daring. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then the last comic I got out of the 50-cent box here was a Image comic. It was a #1. The cover caught my eye. It's called The Blue Estate, I think. I don't know. It's The Blue Estate Whiskey Rachel situation. But I thought the art is pretty cool inside. It has a pretty neat look to it. And I've never seen these before. So I'll check it out. I didn't think I could go wrong for 50 cents. Not a bad haul from the comic shop. This package today. And basically, I already took the bags off of the. I hate the wrinkled up, old, decrepit bags that come on stuff that I buy. So this was a lot that I bought on eBay, but it wasn't like go bid on a lot. This guy said, go pick out any $25 worth of my comics and I'll ship it to you free. And this guy has just a mix of all different kinds of stuff. So I got all this for $25.18 shipped. And let's see, the first comic is this one, and I got it for like $1 something, I think. And I just thought the cover looked cool in the picture. But when this comic came, I think it's a throwaway comic. I'm going to give it to a kid. I didn't like any of the artwork inside of it. I don't know, the computer artwork, where it's just shading on the computer, really turns me off. And I think the layout of this is just whack. And the art's not even good. So I'll give that to a kid who in the neighborhood or something who likes it. Now I picked this one up. It's Wonder Woman number 34. And I loved the way the cover looked. I thought, when I saw this in the picture, that it was Wonder Woman with a new outfit. but it isn't. It's actually Wonder Woman here in the shadows, and I believe this is some kind of villain. That she went somewhere, and I looked through this briefly, and then she confronts someone. They get into an argument, and some other stuff's going on, and then they kind of get into a confrontation here where this, I think it's called Shimtar, and then they get into a battle, and it's actually illustrated really well, I thought. And there's some action there. So I'm actually gonna read this, and I really liked the way the cover looked on that. I thought the art was awesome. I can't make out the artist's name here. Actually, it's probably inside, maybe. Written by George Perez, illustrated by Chris Marion and Will Bleibers. So, but I don't know what the name. This must be Marion right there. But I thought that's a great cover. Alright, next up, I don't have too many Joker comics, so I was stoked about getting this for like $2 shipped. You know, part of the whole deal. So it's just I actually didn't like the inside of this comic when I leafed through it a little bit. It's just kind of wacky illustration. The Joker doesn't look very menacing at all to me in this. So I give this 2 thumbs down on the artwork inside, but I like the cover. I'm going to try to collect some Joker covers, and it was cheap. And next up, I've got another Joker cover, and I saw this in someone's video recently, and I was like, oh, that's great. You can't even see his face, just that menacing scowl, you know. And all these are in really good shape. The guy that did these auctions did a really good job of putting well-conditioned books in for the free auction promo. You know, he's kind of said, here's like 400 different comics. Pick any $25 worth or more, and you can have it free shipping. You know how awesome it is to get free shipping on eBay. If you're buying 1 book or 2 books at a time and they're inexpensive, you know, you might as well just not buy it because the price of the books go up so much. But here's a more classic Joker artwork that is way better than the last comic. So at least this has something good inside too, and that cover's ridiculous. So next up, I picked this up because I've seen this in videos before, but I've been actually looking for this for about the last month. The inside of this is the origin of Galactus, and I'm a huge Galactus fan. I just love the way Kirby draws him. So this has just page after page of goodness. And the condition's awesome on this book. And inside, as you can see, just page after page of Kirby goodness. And it's hard to find a bad panel in this whole book. And I don't know if they pieced this together from many different Galactus stories, but yeah, that's pretty amazing. I highly recommend this book. It's not worth anything. I think I paid like $2 for it, and that's in, you know, as good a condition as you can see here. So that one's pretty fun. And then this one, I've been trying to find this at my local shops, and the only copy I found was really banged up, and they wanted $5 for it, and I said, there's no way that's worth $5. So I got this one for $6, and I'm not going to say it's like near mint, but it is pretty damn close. I love the cover on this. This is your Silver Surfer that came out like in the 80s or whatever, 82. And one thing about this book that I really love is almost every page on this book has great artwork. And I think John Byrne, was it John Byrne that wrote this? Yeah, John Byrne did the pencils. And it's all Stan Lee writing. And if you like the Silver Surfer, this is definitely a book to get. It's a king-sized book that hardly has a break in the action. It just goes from one page to another, panel after panel, no ads. So, Silver Surfer #1 from the, I think it's volume 2. Next up, I got this limited series Deadpool #1. It's kind of off-white, but it was $4. I think it was $3.80, and it's got some ticks on the spine or whatever. But I don't have many Deadpool books at all, and I thought this would be a good place. Hey, I needed to get to $25, and I was getting close. And when I saw this, it actually was the last book I added to it that got me there, and I thought it was a good way to take a look at it, and I really need to open it up and check it out and read it, because I've never read any Deadpool before, so it's going to be a treat. This was a book I saw in his qualified books that I remember this cover. It's Marvel Premiere #42, Tigra the Feline Fury, and this is just a fun book. There's actually this is like a 1978 book. There's actually some really cool artwork in this, and I always loved Tigra, or Tigra, or whatever you would call her. I always thought it was a cool looking character. But this book right here has my favorite Star Wars ad of all time. When I was a little kid, I used to see this ad right here, and I wanted all these action figures and all these vehicles. And if you look at the prices, $13.95, you're just like, oh, that's not much at all. But in 1978, for like a 7-8-year-old kid, those prices seemed insurmountable. I used to trade comics for Star Wars action figures and G.I. Joe action figures. I used to wheel and deal to get those things. And then there's another cool ad in here. It's for the Star Wars fan club. That was a fun time. I always liked this ad too. They had these monster Slim Jim ads. Those were great. Nightmares Evolution splash page. So, yep, Tigra, whatever your name is. Alright, and then the last one I got on this was one I needed for my Daredevil run. And it's issue 190. Great cover. And the artwork in this is so phenomenal. I mean, look at this. That's how it starts off. Doesn't that set the mood or what? Does it get any better than this? So I'm completely stoked. I'm almost completed my run with Daredevil. I take that back. I'm probably a halfway there on the Daredevil run before I just start popping these open and stringing together 4, 5, 6 issues in a row that I can read from the start. And by the time I got a couple conventions this summer, I'm thinking by the time it all's said and done, I'll have those issues once the con's over. So, well, that is my haul for today, guys. That's my pickups. Yeah, I'm gonna read the Tith and let you know. I'll read Archie and I'll read Witches the whole run, and maybe I can do a review video because I've read 4 or 5 new series. and that's pretty cool. And then I've got a Silver Age haul coming up that I'll probably do this weekend. So stay tuned. Keep reading, guys. Have fun. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Peace. Detroit Madman.